Your name is Laura, right? You've done something very inexcusable this time, haven't you?
What exactly are you talking about all of a sudden? I'm surprised that the executive director would be contacting me through text instead of in person.
Well, I have to contact you through text because that's just how big of a problem you've caused for me.
You're saying that I've caused you some sort of a problem? I'm sorry, but I don't remember doing anything that would have had an effect on you.
You know about Brent, right?
Of course I do. He works in the same department as I do, and we are both on the same team.
Well, that Brent also happens to be my very important son.
Of course. I am aware of that as well.
And from what Brent has been telling me, you've been picking on him. Is this true?
What? I haven't been picking on Brent whatsoever.
Well, just a little while ago, I heard all about this from his own mouth. Don't act dumb with me in an attempt to get out of trouble.
Wait a moment, please, Roy. I think this might have something to do with what happened recently. I had talked with him about something he'd been doing and gave him a small warning about it. Is that what he told you about?
You gave him a warning?
That's correct. Before he was going to hand in some documents, I noticed that he had a few of the numerics on them written down incorrectly. So I warned him about that, and he said he might need to take one more look at all his papers.
Oh? So a part-timer like you want to give the son of an executive director a warning?
A part-timer like me? I understand that I'm currently working what looks to be part-time shifts here, but I still believe I have the right to warn him of something like that. And at the very least, he is beginning his new career in this company, so I viewed it as the right time to give him that warning so that he'd be more careful going into the future. I wouldn't want our manager learning that he had made such a mistake like that so soon. So I went and warned him to have another look at his papers and then hand them in. I was only warning him because I care for him.
Shut your mouth! There's not a single person in that department who has the authority to warn my son that he has made any mistakes in the first place. You've really gone and done it this time, Laura.
I don't think I've done anything wrong here, Roy.
No, shut up! An old hack like you who knows nothing of this structure of the company is going to be fired.
No way you can do that to me. How could you ever have me fired over a simple warning? You are just the executive director, Roy. I think you need to think twice about the words you're going to be speaking before saying things like that to me. Something as small as this is nothing to be firing me over.
None of this is small to me, though. I made sure to put a lot of time and thought into what I've said here.
I'm not sure that's the case, though, based on what you've just said to me. I understand that as his father, you want to do everything to protect your son, but you need to realize that this is the workplace and not somewhere where you should become so emotional.
Well, you've just gone and tried to diminish whatever joy my son has had in this company so far. And I'm sure that you do the same with all the other new hires as well, don't you? Instead of going and warning my son like that about his mistake, you should have stepped in and fixed the mistake for him so that he wouldn't feel bad about it. The fact that you couldn't even think of something as common as that just goes to show how you are no use to this company and I anymore.
Your son Brent, he is not some child anymore. He should be able to correct the mistakes he has made on his own, and then learn from them. If he doesn't, then...
Do you have any idea who you are running your mouth to right now? If you go against me like this, then that means you're gonna be against all your higher-ups and the company itself.
Are you saying it's wrong for me to give my viewpoint on this matter when it's directly affecting me and the company?
You are nothing but a part-timer, so you only share half the rights that the rest of the full-time employees here gets. That means that you don't have the right to speak up like them.
Excuse me?
I'm not joking around right now. I'm warning you, right now. There is not going to be a next time after what you've done. But if there is, don't you ever talk back to my son like that ever again. Don't you warn him of any mistakes, and don't you freaking dare try and preach to him about anything regarding his job here.
Laura, are you doing all right now?
Oh, it's you. I'm doing just fine, John. Why are you wanting to talk with me now?
I wanted to tell you about today and how I just got invited out to a dinner. Would you be able to have dinner by yourself today? I'll be having my meal at that meeting and then I'll be able to come home.
Is that right? You poor thing, having to go out and be interrupted by people even during the time of day when you should be having your dinner?
Well, this is for the company after all. This is also for you and I and the family. So I'll do my best not to think about having to keep dealing with work until late in the evening.
All right, well, good luck at the dinner today.
I will say this though, and that is that I'm still not getting very used to working in the same building as my wife yet.
Really? I've totally gotten used to all of it now, and don't even mind the fact that you're like my boss at times.
But there are times that I never get to see your face at all throughout the day, while we're working, and, well, that's just leaving me feeling lonely.
Are you even coming into the office anymore? That's how it feels sometimes.
I'm sure that if you and I had to actually see one another every day while at work, things would become a little bit sour between you and I. So, even though I'm not used to working in the same building as you, at least I know that you and I will continue to be happy with one another.
You have a great point there.
By the way, have you heard about Wallace at all?
Wallace? No, I haven't heard anything about him.
It sounds like Wallace is gonna be fired now.
What? I thought that he was just taking some time off work and now he's going to be fired? What ended up happening to him that led to all of that?
From what I've heard, he was harassing other workers in the company with his status in the company. He was a very good employee to the company and all, so it's sad to see him go. But if that's how he's been treating the other employees here, then so be it.
He's been harassing other employees? You're telling me the Wallace we both know has been doing that here?
He was in the same department as you, right? Did things ever feel that way about him to you?
Not at all, John. He was one of the nicest people I've been around. And if anything, he was one always giving compliments to others and such. And most of all, when I first came into this company and started to work alongside him, he did everything he could to show me the ropes and make sure I was comfortable with my job before letting me get work done on my own. He has been so generous to me. I have no idea how he would have been going out and harassing anyone.
But from what it looks like, there must have been many complaints about him doing just that.
Who has been complaining about him so much?
This is what the executive director has said. And the one who's been affected the most by Wallace's harassment has been the executive director's son.
You're talking about those two?
What's wrong, Laura?
I know for a fact that they have just given Wallace a bad name, John.
What? Wait, what do you mean by that? Explain to me what's going on with that comment of yours.
John, you hold any of your financial decisions and wait for me, all right?
What? But Laura...
I know what's going on here. I need you to listen to what I'm going to have to tell you. So before you make the final decision to let Wallace go, wait for me.
Alright then, I can wait. Hey you, are you gonna be coming into the office again today?
Brent, recently you've been acting very strange. Why have you been speaking to me like that? You do realize that I've been around these parts for much longer than you have, and I've been the one training you on plenty of things in this workplace. Could you please show me a bit more respect by talking to me in a more decent tone?
Huh? You're always beneath me in this company, woman. You're just a measly part-timer after all, right?
The way you're thinking about that is not good, Brent.
Shut the hell up. I wanted to tell you that by having you around all the time in the office, you're causing my work to become defective and full of mistakes.
As far as I'm aware, me coming into work to get all of my tasks done has had nothing to do with any of your work.
Just by having a freaking annoying old hag like you in the same office as me, my work is becoming flawed and it's causing me to look bad.
Old hag. Do not call me things like that ever again, Brent.
I'm just telling the truth. Stop acting like I've hurt you in any way by using those words.
Well, even if me coming into this office is having a negative effect on you, I have work that I need to get done here, so I will be coming in today.
Then stay away from this floor. This is the last thing I'm gonna tell you, alright?
But if I can't get to that floor and get to my desk, then I won't be able to get to any of the work I've been entrusted to complete.
Nothing about this company is gonna change by not having you coming into your office. Part-timers like you should be relegated to only cleaning up the bathrooms for the rest of us. How about you go and do that instead, you know?
As far as I'm aware, all of the cleaning of the building is left in the hands of the hired contractors we have. So there's no reason for me to be doing their job for them.
Well then tell me, what is the point of you being a part of this company at all? Why are you coming into this building every day to do this so-called work of yours?
I'm coming into work every day because I'm working for the company's sake.
Well then you need to quit. You're just getting in the way of far more important people, such as myself, which is hindering our work, so that's actually benefiting this company. So leave! And by the way, my dad is gonna be the one firing you here soon. So I guess that you shouldn't have to go through all the trouble of trying to quit after all.
I can tell that your father has already been at work firing people.
Of course he has been. And the same thing is gonna be happening to you after that warning you gave me before. I'll bet he tore you another one once he found out what you said to me, huh?
If you don't like to be warned about your mistakes, Brent, then you shouldn't be making any in the first place.
Shut your freaking mouth. I will not be preached to by your old ass. You're gonna be fired, and so you better go and get all your crap out of your desk right now.
I have not done anything that will get me fired by this company.
You're a freaking joke. As long as my dad and I make something happen, there's no way you'll be able to avoid being fired by this company.
I knew it. So you've both been doing things like that already.
Anyone that thinks that they stand up to me, I'll make sure that they never come back to this office ever again. That's the way that I make sure I stay on top and get paid here.
And so that's what you did to try and get rid of Wallace, right?
You know about a lot of things for a part-timer, you know? Both you and that bastard thought that you could get away with warning me like you guys are my parents or something, and that's why you gotta go. I just have to tell my dad about things like that, and you'll be gone. That's why you better start grabbing all your things today and start looking for new places to work. Well, I'm sure that not a single company in this state would be willing to hire such an annoying old hag like yourself, though.
Thank you, Brent. With this, I've finally been able to learn about what you and your father have been up to.
Hey, there's still all those other documents, right? I'm gonna be coming to the office right now to get them, so you better get them all for me and place them on my desk.
What? From what I remember, that was a task you had been given, Brent.
Shut the hell up already. I had other things going on in my time, so I've never got around to doing all of it. And since today is the day that all those documents have to be handed in, I need you to work on them and place them on my desk. Well, I'm sure that you're not gonna be much help here, though.
You went and told the manager that you'd have all those documents filled out and reviewed before today, right?
I happen to work at my own pace, alright? Don't tell me what to do while I'm there working.
I don't care how you get your work done. But the thing is, you're trying to get me to do all your work for you now, that you said you'd take care of.
You don't have to think about it all that much at all. I'm telling you to do it all for me, so you better get to it and do it.
Are you kidding me, Brent?
Such a waste of space, you part-timer. Someone like you is only good for one thing, and that is listening to me and doing as I say. If you can't even do that one thing, then you're not even worth being a part of this company. Do you really want to be fired right now? Huh?
Well, I'll try my best to get as many of these documents filled out as I can.
Well, you should have been saying that from the beginning, you old hag. Also, once you have all that work done and on my desk, I want you to clean up my office space for me so that it shines. You know what'll happen to you if you're not able to get all that done for me by today, right?
Understood.
What's all this about?
What are you talking about now, Brent?
I'm not being let into the office building anymore. The stupid security guard's trying to have me kicked out of the property right now.
That seems to me like you found yourself in quite the predicament.
Stop messing around with me. He just told me that I'm never going to be allowed into the office again, and that I need to hand him over my badge? What the heck is going on here?
After the company put some thought into it, this was the choice that it made. If you are trying to figure out why something like this could be happening to you, search your memories and I'm sure you'll find your answer.
I have no memory of anything I've done. Do you know how much I've done to work for this company, coming into work every day and doing my job? I don't even remember doing a goddamn thing that would have me kicked out of this office. If anything, it should be all of you useless idiots who continue to get in my way that should be kicked out of the office forever.
And that's what I'm talking about right there.
Huh?
All of those comments, those hurtful remarks about the rest of the employees and part-timers, here is what has become a problem in the eyes of this company. To put it more easy to understand terms, you've been harassing others in the workplace with your insults and threats.
What have I done that's considered workplace harassment?
How many times has it been now where you've gone and threatened me with being fired over things that you have no say in? That right there is a perfect description of you harassing me.
That wasn't meant to be harassing you or anything.
Then tell me what all those comments and threats were.
Those were all warnings. I was warning you by letting you know that if you didn't get everything done, then you were gonna be fired.
Is that right? Then what was going on with you bragging about how you could get anyone fired with the help of your father, when they were getting in your way and causing you trouble?
You just took all that the wrong way is all. And now shut it. Go and talk with the higher-ups and let them all know that they can't kick me out of this company.
I'm sorry, but we are far past all those talks now.
What do you mean?
It's not just me that you are causing problems for, but the rest of this department's employees as well. They have all spoken up about how often you've been harassing them, all because you think you can use your father's position to get your way. So even if I were to go and say something to them, all of the others wouldn't care and would gladly have you gone.
What?
Well, I'm not sure what all is going to be coming from this, but from what I've heard, you'll have to stay home from the office for the next couple of days while the company makes their final decision. So please, go home now, Brent.
I see. So that's what's going on here. You've gotten all this together to make crap up about me in order to get me fired. That's exactly what I should expect from a bunch of weaklings like you.
I'm sorry to say, but none of us have the ability to do such a thing and get away with it. And the same thing goes for you now, Brent.
No way, you're wrong. Unlike the rest of you dogs, I can get away with it, and I will. I'm someone you might call an elite.
Surprising. You sound like a 5-year-old talking about yourself like that now.
Shut your freaking mouth, you! I'm an elite, and that's why I can talk about myself like this.
Then tell me, Mr. Elite, what are you planning on doing next that will get you out of your mess? I'm not sure there is anything else you can do to change the fate that you've made for yourself.
I've got something up my sleeve. I've got the power to wipe you all out from this company no matter how much you all try to make me look like the bad guy.
I'm not sure you'll be able to do such a thing. What you've done has found its way all throughout the company now, so good luck trying to make yourself look good in the eyes of every single one of us. I'm sure you can't do that though, because a lot of the people who have made the decision are far above you in every manner. You see, if what you've been doing wasn't as bad as everyone has made it out to be, then why would the company be kicking you out and sending you home?
That has nothing to do with what I have in store. I got a way to change all the views of me from those higher-ups, and I'm gonna do just that.
Then tell me, how are you going to make that happen?
Do you have any idea who I am? Do you have any idea who my dad is?
I'm very sorry to have to say this, but this time I'm not so sure your ex-executive director father will be able to do anything for you.
Huh? That's how I'm gonna win this, with my dad's power. He is the executive director of this company, and he can do anything I ask. And I'd just like to say that him and I are both very good friends of this company's CEO. All we have to do is go and have a word with the CEO directly about this, and then he'll have all of you disgusting rats kicked out of this company forever.
Is that right? You and your father are both friends of the CEO.
Of course we are! So what are you gonna do about it now? I think that you better start apologizing to me right now for all that you've tried to do.
Are you kidding me? No way I'm apologizing to you. Go right ahead and see what happens when you go crying to the CEO about this.
Just don't say I didn't warn you first. We'll see what happens to all of you next. Mr. CEO, could you please listen to what I have to say?
Oh, it's you. You've really gone and done it to us all this time, huh?
Now, just hold on a second. This is a trap that was set for me to fall into. I'm being portrayed as the bad guy right now.
You're being set up then? Do you care to explain to me in what way you've been set up?
I have not been harassing anyone in the workplace, alright? I've been focusing on my own work and everything, while everyone else in the department has been making plans to get rid of me.
Then why has all this happened if you weren't harassing anyone? Why would anyone want you out of this company so badly that they would set a trap for you and lie?
This is all because of that old hag in my department, Laura. That jerk went through all the work to make me look bad to have me sent home.
I wonder why that could be.
She's the kind of bitch that won't let anyone go until she has her way. She's the thing that you should be wanting to kick out of this company, not me.
Oh, so you're saying all that about my wife, huh?
What? Hold on. Wait, what did you just say about her?
That woman working in the same department as you has been my wife, Laura.
She's been working part-time at the company for years now, and she does so because she has things to attend to at home for us as well. Now, if you're saying that my wife has something against you and is so selfish that she can't handle anything not going her way, that's right? Wait, she really is your wife? That's right. And from what her and all the other coworkers have told me, she views everyone as family here. She's even called the mom of this company. She spends a lot of her time making sure that everything is going okay, and she's always on her A game. So I'm really not that sure that Laura, my Laura, would ever go through something as troublesome as setting a trap for someone else and lying about what they've done. But, this is the truth! Something like a workplace harassment? Why would I ever do something like that to get any of the employees here, huh? As far as I'm aware, Brent, from what more than half of the department has been saying, you've been harassing them while they've been in the office. And so we've had to begin an investigation into just how far you've taken things here. I know all that, yeah. Do you know about why this is happening to you now then? Wait, what? This is all happening because your wife got everyone to help her and taken me down for something I have not been doing, right? Wrong. This is all happening because we learned that you were the one that became unhappy with Wallace and had him fired by your father. Wallace happens to be a very trusted and well-respected man in this company. Someone who everyone loved and talked about. And that man who had never even hurt a fly fell victim to your harassments as you went and had him fired. And when everyone else in the office heard about that, they all started to worry about what you would do to them all next. And when I learned the truth behind everything, I was left speechless. And I learned that I also am responsible for not taking responsibility sooner. But before I have to pay for my failures to this company, you will have to receive your punishment. Crap! For the time being, you will not be allowed into the workplace and your salary will be halved. And once the HR has gone through and done their full investigation into you, I believe that you will be fired for what you've done, so please prepare yourself for that. Crap! You really did a good one hiding all that from me!
So, how was your talks with the CEO? What all did my husband have to say to you?
I never freaking thought that you would turn out to be the CEO's wife!
I'm sure you didn't have any room for your words in his head, and let them fly into one ear and out the other, right?
Well, since you happen to be the CEO's wife, then all this will be quick. You go and tell the CEO right now that what he's doing is wrong and to have all those investigations into me ended.
And why should I, of all people, have to listen to you and go do all of that?
Do you have any idea just how much I've done for this company? And how much this company's benefited from having me working for it? You know more than anyone about all the accomplishments I have, right?
I am well aware of all of them. You happen to accomplish a lot while working in this department.
That's right! So you know that if I'm fired from the company and never able to come back, then there'll be hell to pay and the company will never be as good as it is today.
I'm sure there will be some hell to pay, but there would be even more hell to pay by having someone like yourself continue working in this company.
What are you saying right now?
You and your father worked together and had quite a few employees in this company fired for no good reason. All that is very well known now, and there is no erasing the stains you've left behind. Because we had to lose quite a few employees now, some of the best this company had due to your guys' selfish ways. That has been a very major loss for this company, and we will not be allowing that to happen again.
You're wrong. There were very good reasons for why all of them had to be fired.
Well, luckily, the investigation has been doing wonders in finding out what those reasons were. They happen to be lies that your father and you would tell about them, and you'd even go through the trouble of making false evidence in order to fool HR. Well, there is still a lot of time left for these investigations, so only time will tell just what lengths the two of you have really gone to. This company is planning to pay those employees that had to be fired a large amount for their troubles. And then, this company will be taking the two of you to court and forcing you both to pay up the damages you have caused to us. And that's the plan, Brent.
You're gonna have us pay the company? Why the hell do I have to do something like that to the company?
Because as I said, you caused some major damages to this company, and we have to make up for them. This is what happens when you cause harm to someone, or something else.
Well, whatever. I'll pay whatever the company's asking for, okay?
Oh, you really will? Well, that was fast. I'm sure it's going to be a large amount the company is asking for, so are you sure you can pay it all off?
I don't need your worries. My dad has been the executive director of the company for a long time now, so I'll be able to pay up.
Well, that's just wonderful to hear.
And let me just say, don't consider this a win for yourself.
What? Why would you say that?
Well, you all have been so busy with those investigations. My dad and I have been talking with the board and all the company's investors, and we're gonna have the CEO changed at once. Then my dad will be made the CEO of the company, and he'll make sure to get rid of all the talks about me harassing all the others within the working place, and then we'll be back on track to having full control. And after all that, every single one of you that you said that I was harassing will be fired.
That's going to be impossible for you two.
Huh? What do you even think that you can call something like that impossible?
Because I can. Like I said to you before, your dad is now the ex-executive director.
Huh? Wait, why the hell is he being taken out of that position now?
You know why, right? The both of you were working together to have people wrongfully fired from the company, while also harassing the employees. There's no reason that it'd only be you getting punished for all of your actions. He was doing the same things you were, and even helped you with them.
You've got to be freaking kidding me! If that's the case, then that means that both of us are being fired?
I'm sure that anyone can see that being the case now.
Wait a second, alright? All the things that I had to do were because of him, okay? Because of my dad asking me to do them. I had to go through all that unwillingly, okay? I never wanted to harass anyone or threaten them.
This is becoming a bit annoying, Brent. You seem to keep changing the story and your behavior over and over again to fit what you want. Do you really think I'm going to keep listening to you when you do such childish things like that?
But I'm telling you the damn truth here. I didn't want to do any of that, but my dad was making me do everything or else he would have me fired.
It's so funny how similar you are to your father.
How am I similar to him? Don't you freaking dare compare me to that bastard.
I will though, because you both are one and the same. Because your father was saying the exact same things to me about you. He told me that everything he went through with was all because of you forcing him to do so.
No way he would say that. Dad?
So, no matter what excuses you may have for your actions, we all know that both of you went through with everything willingly. Next time you want to try and have an alibi, how about you and your father agree on it first?
Am I really gonna be fired right now?
I'm sorry to have to say this, but yes. We have to fire those who know nothing about their status in the workplace.
Those two have finally come around with complying to us and have chosen to confess to what they've done.
I see. Well, then that only leaves the rest of the investigation into them, and then we can say our farewells to those two.
That's right. We need to find out just how many of our employees they harmed, as well as how much damage this has caused to the company. Although, I really don't want to think about all that.
But John, you and I both know that we can't look away from all the issues they've caused.
I know that, of course. Also, I just wanted to say that because of your efforts, we were able to help a lot of employees who are afraid to come out about what has been done to them. Thank you so much for that, Laura.
You don't have to thank me. I work for this company with one goal and one goal only, and that's to support everyone as though they are my family. And of course, I wanted to make sure the wrongdoers who did such horrible things to Wallace were taken care of.
But it was also because of me that him and many other employees were wrongfully fired. I listened to everything the executive director told me without even thinking much on it. I'll make sure that all the employees that I fire under the wrong pretext will be paid handsomely for their troubles.
And I will help you do all of that as well. So please, do your best getting all that money from Roy and Brent and use it to pay those who lost their jobs to them. After both Roy and Brent had been fired from the company, they both made every effort to try and find a new job for themselves. However, this world is not a kind place to live in, and neither of them were able to find any company that was willing to hire them after what had happened. Due to this, things only grew worse for the two, and soon they began to take out their frustrations on one another, even leading to the two getting into physical fights at home. The fact that they had both lost their jobs at the same time really caused trouble for their payments at home, and soon that stress started to cause total breakdowns in them. There are even times the neighbors complain about the screaming and crying coming from their house, and will call the police to come over and check on them when they hear the sound of breaking glass and slamming doors. Some things like that led to the whole neighborhood becoming upset with them, and they were driven out of the area by those that asked for the police to get rid of them. At the same time, the both of them were taken to court in order to be asked to pay off the settlements my husband's company had asked them for. And so, with a large loan, they were able to, but but that pretty much laid waste to their savings accounts. Now, they both have to run off somewhere else in hopes of finding a home with what little money they've been left with. Roy ended up moving out into the countryside, where he is working part-time on a farm. And as for Brent, he is held up inside a fast food restaurant on the side of a highway, still struggling to find any form of work that will pay him.